So what do you get when you add a 150 to 600 millimeter lens with a teleconverter? Let's check it out and see. The free business coaching call is back. It doesn't matter if you've been on the call before, it doesn't matter if you've been on the call 10 times before. You will learn something every single time. Join us for our free business coaching call where we're going to teach you the daily routine for success. Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today on the Slanted Lens, we're here at a great swamp in Houston, and we're checking out alligators. We're taking pictures of alligators with our 150 to 600 millimeter Tamron lens, and we're going to check out and use some teleconverters. So when I had that 150 to 600 millimeter Tamron lens in Alaska, I got some great shots, but I always felt like I wish I was a little bit closer. And of course, always, when you're shooting wildlife, you always wish you were a little closer. Of course, when we were shooting the grizzly bears, we weren't that excited about being any closer. But you want something to get you out there and to bring things in. So we're going to talk a little bit about teleconverters. I've got a 2X here by Tamron. I've got a 1.4 on the camera right now with that 150 to 600 millimeter lens. Let's talk about the pros and cons of teleconverters. Let's start off with the pros. Why do people buy these things? They buy them because it just simply makes your lens longer. 2X is going to give you twice the focal length. A 1.4 is going to give you 40% more focal length. The second reason that people use these things is because of cost. If I bought an 800 millimeter 5.6 lens, it's going to be almost $13,000. It's a huge investment to get into that kind of a lens. This gives you that millimeter at a much cheaper cost. One of the last great reasons to use a teleconverter is it doesn't change your minimum focus distance on your lens. You'll still be able to focus just as close, whereas a longer lens is going to have a much shorter minimum focus distance. With this 150 to 600 millimeter, Tamron did a rework on their teleconverter, the 1.4. It works fabulously on that lens. It's made for that lens. They're great on other lenses other than the 150 to 600 millimeter lens. They're great on that 70 to 200. You put a 1.4 on that 70 to 200. The 2X will focus on that new second generation 70 to 200 that Tamron has out. That gives you a 400 millimeter lens. So now let's talk about the downside, the reason that people don't like teleconverters. And there's several reasons that make these things very difficult to use. The first and foremost is you do gain in millimeters, you do get closer to your subject, but you lose a stop for the 1.4 and you lose 2 stops of exposure for the 2X. The other is focusing ability or focusing speed. They autofocus a little slower than your camera will function, your lens will function without them. For me, I love looking through the camera, through the lens, and I just love to go in a still mode and go to manual. The 1.4 will autofocus with this second generation 150 to 600 millimeter lens. The 2X will not. This 2X will autofocus with the 70 to 200 G2 that's coming out by Tamron. So both of these, the 1.4 and the 2X, you can use with that 70 to 200 millimeter lens. Next, you lose image quality. Now, is it better than cropping? Yes, absolutely. Cropping into an image, you're going to lose a lot of image quality too because you're blowing it up. And a teleconverter is going to look better than just simply cropping in. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But it does lose some image quality. It's kind of worth mentioning, I guess, but it's just kind of no-brainer that because you're on a longer lens, there's more camera shake. I can't hand-hold this thing at 830 millimeters with that 1.4 on there. It's just, I just can't hand-hold it. I can hand-hold it at 600. I feel pretty comfortable doing that, but I got to really concentrate. So there's the pros and the cons of teleconverters. Kind of my summation in shooting these now for the time that I've had them out here today, I do like getting the extra millimeters. I would always have a 1.4 with this 150 to 600 millimeter lens. It's absolutely worth carrying. It's going to give you a little better reach out there and a little nicer image. And so I'll have that always in my bag and I will use it. With that 70 to 200 millimeter lens, this 2X is a great teleconverter. It's one that I would use for sports applications. In that time when you want to just get a little closer, when you're on court side, you know, for under $500 to jump from a 200 to a 400 millimeter lens in a sports situation can give you great shots at a really great value. So let's take a look at some of the images we shot today. First at the normal 600 millimeters. Now here's some with that 1.4 converter at 800 and about 40. And last of all, we're going to take a look at 1200 with the 2X. So now I'm going to blow up the 600 millimeter to be the same size as with that 1.4. There's those two side by side. For me, I think they're absolutely worth the money and something that's worth having in your kit. So post some of your images on our Facebook group that you shot with teleconverters. I want to see the work you're doing. We can talk about it. We can discuss them and just kind of learn a bit as a community there. So go to our Facebook group. Join that group if you haven't done that. So this is a little thought on teleconverters, the pros and cons. So keep those cameras rolling and keep on clicking. PhotoFlex always has great equipment. This month they're giving away 3 starlights and 3 modifiers and 3 stands and 1 bag. So get over to theslantlens.com and sign up to win it.